After nearly 7 years, WWE is finally giving their women's division the spotlight. They're giving them the chance to stand there center stage and show what they can do. Even if Triple H decided to put them opposite of a Beyonce concert. You cannot mess with the Hive, Hunter. You can't mess with the Hive. That is going to do so goddamn well, and the women have been set up to fail. Or maybe they're going to shine, they're going to show what they can do, and anybody that didn't attend the show is going to absolutely regret it. But boy, oh boy, Triple H ain't beating the goddamn allegations of not being all that great of a booker, is he? But before I get into any of that stuff, that's for the review. Let's talk about what could happen at this event. I'm John Redlam with my WWE Evolution 2 Electric Women Boogaloo predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments, please. And like I said, with my Great American Bash and Saturday Night Main Event in Atlanta predictions video, Human Centipede and those shows together, I wanted to do this separately because I wanted to dive into a couple of matches a little bit more. And that way I didn't make it like a 20, 25 minute video when I could just take my time, talk about certain things. And 7 matches on this card, I do think that there's potential for a maybe... I don't know if any of these matches will be Match of the Year candidates, but I think a lot of the women are going to be up. And even though, yes, the crowd is going to be smaller because they ran a pretty big arena when they probably should have chosen more of a mid-size arena, because again, they're opposite of a fucking Beyonce concert, the women are going to step this up. Triple H really did set them up to fail, didn't he? So let's start off with the Women's Battle Royal for a title shot at Clash in Paris. Now, there are various women involved in this. God forbid if Nia Jax wins this goddamn thing. Just throw the whole show away and just abandon all hope, ye who enter here. And Nikki Bella is also in it after Liv Morgan's unfortunate shoulder injury and speedy recovery to Liv Morgan. May she recover well. May she recover 100%. May she come back at the Royal Rumble and possibly win the thing because she's been the Iron Woman of a couple of them. But in the interim, Nikki Bella is not going to be facing Liv Morgan. She is going to be in this. Now, I can see them giving it to Nikki Bella. I don't really think that's necessarily a good idea, but I could see as far as a star from the past, as far as somebody that could get an international crowd on their feet, I can see them doing that. I just don't know if putting her in a singles match is necessarily the best idea at this point. I know she says she's healthy, but Father Time is undefeated. But that being said, they could give it to Nikki Bella. I'm going to go Stephanie Vaquer. Why wouldn't you want to just give everything to Stephanie Vaquer? I will let you decide how I mean that. You would want to give her everything. You would want to bow at her fucking feet. But also, she's incredibly talented in the ring. And you could have her in front of a raucous Paris crowd. Which, yes, I know she's not from Paris, but you still could have a raucous international crowd cheering their fucking hearts out. And I will say, that Paris crowd, I'm very interested to see how that's going to go. After Backlash in France, I'm interested to see how Clash in Paris is going to go. But I'm going to go Stephanie. Now, I can see them giving it to Nikki, but I'm going to go Stephanie. So now we have a no-holds-barred match with Jade Cargill against the Money in the Bank briefcase holder for the women, Naomi. I don't know why I had to specify for the women, because Seth Rollins wrestling on this show against Jade. I might take Jade in that match, but no, in all seriousness, they built this up for a while. They were pseudo associates, Studio. All right. Can't really do Phil Collins at all. But then Jade was attacked and laid out, and then she attacked Naomi at Elimination Chamber, which was a great moment, by the way. That just looked like she was going to maybe try to go for the chamber Bianca was in, and then boom, just... I'm sorry, I just think about that. It's just so fucking hilarious. This is so fucking good. But there are 2 ways they could go about this, in all seriousness, because they built this up for a while. They've had their skirmishes. They've had, Naomi's been stopped from cashing in the briefcase, and Jade has been around and doing her own thing. Recently won Queen of the Ring. Jade already has her guaranteed title shot at SummerSlam. Now, I think she's going to end up beating Naomi here. And that's not to say that I don't want Naomi to win. I'm going to explain why. And this is why I want to do a bit of a longer form video. Naomi holds the briefcase. Jade could end up beating the champion, which will pretty much guaranteed to be Tiffany. It'll be the blonde with the first with T as her first letter. But that being said, Jade's going to get the victory here to continue her momentum to SummerSlam. Naomi, however, is going to have that briefcase and is going to have that, in the chamber, and is going to be able to cash in on either Tiffany or Jade at the conclusion of their match, which I still think should take place on night 2 of SummerSlam, because then you give Tiffany a full 7 months as champion, as she won it on the first SmackDown, which was on the 3rd of January. Great moment, by the way. Another match Naomi was involved in. Naomi has actually been delivering a lot of great performances here. She's dramatically improved over the last number of years. Do not misunderstand me. And her time away working in Impact before coming back to WWE certainly has helped her. And I'm glad to see that this heel persona is working out well for Naomi. Now, I think Naomi's going to end up cashing in successfully at SummerSlam, but she's going to lose here. And it's not going to halt her momentum. And then she can get a run from SummerSlam to, the Rumble or something like that. Or maybe even all the way through Mania. You can do something with Naomi. Jade can pursue her, and you could do a rematch at Mania. You could do that, because maybe by then Jade will actually improve in singles matches where you don't have to put the stipulations on there. Because it's been pretty obvious. That Asuka match was a little bit rough. That being said, I think this is going to be a fun match, and I think that Jade is going to take it. Roxanne and Raquel. Roxanne stepping in for Liv to defend the Women's Tag Team Championships. The cursed Women's Tag Team Championships, by the way. They need to drop those. They really need to drop those, because the other teams are Charlotte and Alexa. Why? For what reason? What did I do? What ancient totem did I defile to have to deserve this? Against Sol and Zarya, against the Kabuki Warriors. Now, there are only 2 people I think that could take the pin here. And you could have Zarya take the pin because this is her main roster debut. Solrook, I don't think is going to take the pin. I think Roxanne and Raquel are going to take this, but the deal is that anytime you have Charlotte in a match, and you have it in a situation like this, a 4-way, there's a chance Kairi Sane could take the pin. The Kabuki Warriors could get the victory here, and I'd be perfectly fine with that. But the thing is, Roxanne just got gifted the tag titles, and they have to prove that they can be a good team. But if they don't have them win here, then I don't know what we're doing. And I'm sorry, but a Charlotte-Alexa alliance does nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. And Charlotte wants to be a babyface. All due respect to the person, I do not find her wrestling character interesting. And this also goes for Alexa. But I think Raquel and Roxanne are going to get a sneak win. I think it will work well for them because they're trying to strap up Judgment Day again for whatever reason they think that this faction still has life left in it. But Roxanne and Raquel need to retain here. So Zarya, Kairi Sane, or a shock win over Alexa. So then we get JC Jane, the NXT Women's Champion, against Jordynne Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Now, as I talked about on my Great American Bash predictions, we're going to get something that's going to tease tension between Jordynne and Blake. Now, they're going to win that match. And for those that watch know that I said that. But I think Blake's going to ask to be in Jordynne's corner. And then she's either going to cost her the match, or Jordynne is going to get the victory over JC, and then Blake's going to switch heel and then beat Jordynne soon after. The thing is, though, then they're hot potatoing the title, and I want JC to have a longer reign. So I think Blake's going to inadvertently, or advertently, or pervertedly cost Jordynne the match. We're going to go with that feud. And Jordynne's never going to get her full crack at the women's title until she's able to vanquish Blake. You can go in a few different directions. Because JC, I think, should get a bit of a longer run. But the thing is the title win came out of nowhere. I'm just worried they're going to give her such a short reign. So Jordynne could win here and Blake could immediately beat her like in a month or two. Give it to JC, let Jordynne and Blake do their own thing, and then come back around to that after JC's held it for another couple months, I say. Tiffany Stratton against Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany's going to win. I think this match should have had a little bit more build. I think they should have brought Trish back about 3 weeks ago. But I digress. And quite frankly, I think that it will be a nice send-off for Trish. I don't think Trish needs to keep coming back at this point. She could have one more match at Mania next year if they really want to go that route. But honestly, does anybody need to see Trish continue to come back? She can still go. She still looks great. She can still perform. And Tiffany getting to face her is like a passing of the torch situation. Like it was supposed to be with Trish and Charlotte at SummerSlam 2019. Trish's retirement. Some retirement. Like Terry Funk's retirement. Terry Funk was never able to hit Stratusfaction, though, like that. But Tiffany Stratton will get the victory. I think it'll be a pretty good match, but I don't think it's going to be anything spectacular. Io Sky against Rhea Bloody Ripley for the WWE, or rather the Women's World Championship. Rhea could get it here. That sounded a lot less dirty in my head, but she could. And she could absolutely just go into SummerSlam with more momentum. And Io could have held it, from like just about 6 weeks before Mania all the way through to this point. But I almost think you want to give Io a chance to lose it on a big stage like SummerSlam. So unless you're going to have interference, unless you're going to have something where, because you can't have Raquel do it, because they just had that street fight. You could have Roxanne and Raquel lose the tag titles because Rhea inadvertently interferes, but then that telegraphs what's going to happen here. So I think it's going to be a pretty damn good match for about 14, probably 16 minutes. I think Io is going to get the shock win, but they wrote themselves into a corner here. If Rhea wins, I'm not going to complain at all. I'm good with either winning as long as it's clean. Because Io's had a pretty good run. So far, it's been about just over 4 months now. Rhea does not need the title, but eventually she's going to have to win something, or even though the fans pop, they're going to start to lose faith. So it's a catch-22. But I think Io's going to get the victory here. Barely. I'll just go with that, and I'm not saying my heart's totally in it. Becky versus Lyra versus Bayley in a 3-way Women's Intercontinental Championship match. It's the second weirdest Irish Oreo I've seen on the internet. You don't want to know about the first. Or you do, you sick freaks. Becky Lynch is going to get the victory, and I think Lyra is going to get pinned, because what's going to happen is Lyra is going to hit Nightwing on, say, Bayley. And then Becky is going to, hit the manhandle slam out of nowhere or get a roll-up or something like that. Like, Lyra will get a 2 count on Bayley. And then you'll have this go where Lyra maybe won't go heel, because I don't think she needs to go heel. I think she's been doing better on the mic, and I think she's been doing pretty good in the ring. I'm not saying she needs to go heel, but you need to have the end game be Bayley taking it from Becky. Because all due respect, Lyra, great first Women's Intercontinental Champion, did well, and was able to, end up being the first. You can only have one first. But Bayley, because she got taken out by Becky, it makes the most sense to go with that singles match at SummerSlam, and then you can go with Bayley and Lyra afterwards. Becky doesn't need a long run as champion, and then everybody wins. Well, not everybody, because somebody has to lose, but you get the point. The fans win, the wrestlers win, we get some more good programming. That's what I think is going to happen. Do you think we'll get any shocking returns, debuts, or whatever in the Women's Battle Royal? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rentland. Until we meet again, happy trails to you.